Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Hindsight, where we see bad situations that can be avoided by good reasoning. But sometimes a situation is unavoidable and self-defense is needed to get you to safety.
Yeah, you know what time it is. Monday morning quarterbacking on a Tuesday morning. Yeah, however we get it is however we get it. Welcome to another episode of Hindsight. Of course, with me, Sensei Buddha, Mr. Suave.
Yo,
How are you gentlemen doing?
blessed day as always.
Undeniably, very, very good.
All right. Well, let's get in it. Today's story, Black Boogeyman made me shoot my girlfriend. Oh, yeah, folks, don't get in your feelings. It happens. People get falsely accused of things. But we're gonna look at this this story that happened in Republic, Missouri. We have an Aaron Zumwalt, 28 years old, a convicted felon who shot his girlfriend, then blamed it on a fictitious 6'3" black man. He's being held in Greene County, Greene County Jail on $100,000 bond. The charges for this case are unlawful possession of a firearm and filing a false police report. Yeah, so Zumwalt's girlfriend felt pain in her leg, looked down, saw blood on her shirt. Zumwalt drove his girlfriend to Cox Hospital. She suffered injuries to her stomach, right hip, and buttocks. When law enforcement officials questioned Zumwalt, he claimed that a mysterious black man shot his girlfriend. Zumwalt's girlfriend and the owner of the home did not corroborate Zumwalt's story. However, Zumwalt, who's out on bail for a rape charge, told police, quote, unquote, "I'm fucked." That's right. In the penitentiary, he might be, literally. Zumwalt is also expecting the birth of a child from another woman. That's just a fancy name of saying, he's going to be a baby daddy. Zumwalt has a lengthy criminal past. 2009, pled guilty to theft and burglary. And last year, he got 2 counts of rape. 2 counts of rape. 4 counts of domestic assault. 1 count of sodomy with a 2015 rape case. He's busy. Zumwalt posted a $30,000 bond in December, but was arrested in May for violating court order of protection because he came within 1,000 feet of his victim's home. Zumwalt posted the judge set bail again for $40,000, and he posted that later in the week. So, who wants a piece of this first?
Oh boy.
I know you're ready to go in, brother.
This old felonious ass son of a bitch. All right, so I love how we just have a mysterious dark black figure. And it is. Thank you. The dark black 6'3", not 5.
Okay, let's
5'1".
Hold on. Let's take care of business first. Suave, I usually give a disclaimer, before we go in about people getting in their feelings.
I was getting it.
Okay. I was getting it. All right, let me fall back.
Sometimes I like to get in a little bit before I give the disclaimer.
Okay.
Just throwing it in there. So like, what I'm saying? So it wasn't 5'1", it wasn't 5'2", it had to be 6'3". Damn, I thought he was gonna say 6'8", 250 pounds, looking like LeBron James. But
don't forget that he could possibly run the 40 and 4.4, for good measure.
Now, as I like to always say before we get into it and before we start off after a wonderful introduction of Deep Physicists, this is for entertainment purposes only. This is our views and our views alone. So if you're getting your feelings, get that. Oh, okay? Now let's get into it. So this dirtbag, this rat bastard, I'm just looking at what he's doing, and I think he's 1 or 2 crimes away from a murder. And that's it. He already got 2 rape charges. He shot his girlfriend in the leg, and he tried to cover it up. Why? She probably ain't say nothing yet because she was in pain because she just got shot. Like, yo, I got a pain. You know what I mean? So, oh, my goodness. I just want to say what character flaws, what character flaws did this young lady have that this is the dude she want to play with? And obviously, she's either the main chick or that's getting cheated on or the chick on the side because he already got some chick pregnant. So she might not even know what his story is. I mean, he just tried to blame it on the stereotypical the black dude. That way he could get off, and he might be trying to slide. You know why that is? Because he's already a felon. He's a convicted felon. He got charges. He got not just regular charges. He got lewd charges, rape charges, sodomy charges, stalking charges. It's like I say, man. This bum is close to being. He's one count away, 1 crime away from a murder. And a bond is only about 10%, so the bond of 40,000, 10% of 40,000 was 10% of that.
About 4,000.
10% of that. Yeah, so it's not, it's not that serious. He could have his moms put a house up, get that cash. He could have somebody put the house up, get that cash. So since he's a career criminal, he might just have his bond money on stash already because he knows he's going to commit another crime. And I'm glad he got charged, but I've seen similar cases like this. Some guys get 15 years for being a felon and having a handgun, depending on what state you in. So for him to even get bond and be this lucky, he got lucky. He's getting multiple chances. And now I want to say for the poor young woman who was his girlfriend, there's really nothing she could have. We don't know exactly what's going on in the car. Was he trying to be cool? Was he trying to play a game? I don't know what he was really trying to do, but for him to shoot her and she not even realized she was shot until he went in and he started squealing like they always do. Once you get in that little box, 1-on-1 or 1-on-2, they start snitching. They start talking to themselves. Or the victim, which is the girlfriend in the story, she said straight up, hey, it was an accident, I guess, but I got shot. He shot me. He wasn't trying to hide nobody. She wasn't trying to protect him. He wasn't worth protecting. Not saying that you should, but I'm just saying, a situation like this is, an accident is a legit accident. This dude having a felon, did she do that? Did she spend that $30, not buy a bottle, or not buy the next magazine, or 10 magazines, or not buy the next cell phone case, and go do a background report on this dude? I don't know. We've been saying that from day one. So we just got to keep reiterating that so our listeners know it's only that much to find out who you really running with. Did she do that? I don't know. Because if she did, she would have known he was a convicted felon. And if he had a firearm in his possession, it ain't for no good reason. My reasoning is, I think he was probably using it to done raped 2 before in the past year. She might have been number 3. She might have been consensual now, and who knows? When the day she said no, he said, oh, no. You say no now, I say yes every time. And that's, just going back from just a little jab at Sensei Buddha. He might in his mind think he's killed Gray from Jessica Jones, having the power of persuasion. But that's here and there. little jab. But anyway, the self-defense tactics that she could have used here, like I said, we don't know 100% what was exactly going on in that situation. So I can't really get into that. But I always tell people, and I've said it before on the show, I tell people on the outside, the worst place you want to be in with a firearm is in that steel coffin, which is a vehicle. Unfortunately, look what happened to Pop. You see, he ain't have nowhere to move. And
you mean
that was from the outside of the car.
You mean Tupac Shakur?
Allegedly, Tupac Shakur. Shoot him up, hit him up, whatever you want to call it.
The rap artist.
the rap artist, one of the legends, one of the late greats. Whether he's really living in the Bahamas or not, we will never know. But anyway, that's not here or there.
All right.
But yeah, you know, you're in a confined space. That is not an area to be playing with a firearm. If that was what he was doing, that's not the area to be brandishing a firearm. That is not an area to be flashing a firearm. Thinking about close quarter combat. I never studied Krav Maga. I want to try to get into that. If I could find a good school. But I know they are pretty good in close quarters combat. And you know, just say hypothetically, you was next to that person and he or she pulled a gun out on you, you might be able to grab a wrist, might be able to grab the slide, maybe hit the wrist, break the angle of his grip. You know, I'm not 100% sure on the tactics right there. I'm just trying to give you what if, you know, if it wasn't on purpose, if it wasn't an accident, if somebody was next to you trying to hit you on purpose, you could leave your stuff on, bomb, throw it in his head. You just want some type of deflection tactic. Because your main goal is to get out and get away. You are not Superman. You are not Luke Cage. You are not Mr. Steel. I give you a shout out, Sensei Buddha. There you go. You are not bulletproof, is what I'm trying to say. And even if you got a vest, even if you got a Kevlar is bullet. It's still not 100% bulletproof. It's bullet resistant because bullets can still penetrate. So, you know, just keep that in mind. I mean, I'm closing out with the hindsight of this thing is this dude is a career criminal. He's on a path of being a murderer and being locked up for the rest of his life. Is he going to turn around? It doesn't look likely. I don't see it being likely. At least his cases are not sealed and they're open so we can actually see what kind of dirtbag he is. I just feel sad for the poor girl because she might be thinking this dude is straight, and now that everything's out, he got a baby mom. He got a little baby, so he got his baby mom and he's a baby daddy. Whether she knew that or not, I don't know. This dude's a bun. This dude is felonious. I'm done with him. I'm done with him. That's a dude.
Excellent. Mr. Suave, too funny. Excellent commentary, but with the seriousness to it. Now, the thing here that's very interesting to me is that they do not mention Mr. Zumwalt's line of employment. Even though that he's only maybe paying 10% of these bonds, you know, that money adds up over time. Where does this gentleman work? Is his parents taking care of him? Does his girlfriends take care of him? They never mention his line of work. And to me, when you have rape and sodomy charges and stuff like that, he should be a registered sex offender. But to me, by even having an accidental shooting of a firearm, isn't that usually within the guidelines of attempted murder? Why is this guy even out walking about? Look, he's violating all his probation. He's violating everything when it comes to him paying his bond. And this is not once, not twice. We're seeing time after time a $30,000 bond, a $40,000 bond sent. You know, the week even of this case, this right here is a felon who runs amok. He's scaling upward in his antics of evil. This part's a self-defense tactic. As Mr. Suave pointed out from before, we don't know if he was arguing with this lady and then the lady turned around, walked away, and he just went ahead and shot her out of anger. Was he playing around with the pistol? Now, if he comes, you know, as we see here, Republic, Missouri is extremely hot. And for him to go into a mode where he says, you know what, I'm feeling so bad, I feel like a black person in America. I'm going to blame a black man. This has some type of deep psychological issues. If we remember, I think, who's this woman? Her name was Smith. She had killed her children. She drowned them by taking the car into a lake or whatever, to a river. And the first thing she did was blame a black man. So there's some type of psychological issues there with these particular individuals. This is not speaking of all European Americans at all, but certain individuals who like to practice this type of racism, this type of psychosis, psychotic, where you do the crime, but you want somebody else to do the time. And remember, the sad thing is back in the day, whenever black people were blamed for a crime, these police would go out there and be looking for for the fictitious black baby. Now, this gentleman's a baby daddy, but they say, oh, he's fathered a child. No, that's a child born out of wedlock. In the same way that you give it up for this fool. They're protecting him. We don't know what kind of work he does, if any, because to me, $30,000 and $40,000, even 10% of that, that's still. I'm not saying maybe it's a whole lot of money, but you got to have steady employment. And what kind of place could he be employed at if he's now a known sex offender, coming within 1,000 feet of his last victims and sodomy charges that are confirmed? To me, with that alone, I don't know what Missouri law is. He should not even be in possession of a gun. The only kind of gun he should have is a damn water gun. He should not be able to get a firearm. And sadly, the self-defense for this particular lady, if obviously your back is turned and your man shoots you, the only defense now in this situation was her, of course, getting to the hospital. And then, you got to press charges here. How was he able to get out on bail with an accident with a firearm? And the thing is, I can't, first of all, we are legal firearm owners. I'm a legal firearm owner. Okay. People on this panel, we're legal I've owned firearms legally since 1991. And I'm sorry, man, between that and my martial arts training, and even being on the type of jobs that I've had in executive protection and working club security, these things can be frustrating when you're dealing with clientele that comes upon your establishment. They want to fight you, swing on you, do all kind of crazy things. I have never, ever had it in my mind or in my heart to pick up a firearm, to want to go out there and shoot somebody, to take my firearm and when I'm around other people, to play with the weapon unsafely or brandish it or play with it. If I have my firearm and it is in my home and I am not being under a duress of an attack, the weapon is unloaded. It's a Beretta 92 or 92F, or if it's an old wheel gun, they're always going to be unloaded if I'm handling my firearm in the home and we're not being attacked. For this gentleman to have a quote-unquote accident, he's too much of a flight risk to me. Everything healing up. He even had, as beat physicists have said, he's fucked. And to me, he should have been. There should be no way that this guy is running around. That makes no sense. He just had an accident with a firearm, and I don't even believe that. It's ridiculous. Now, again, here's this lady here. I would really like to know how old his girlfriend is. But then again, as we're seeing, when people are not thinking clearly, if at all, age ain't nothing but a number. She could be legal age of 21, or she can even be 49, my age. How can it's very obvious. This man is having a child with another woman, and you have to know about his history, dealing with the fact that he sodomized another rape charges, current rape charges. These are current rape charges that he had posted his bail bond for. And then, the lady wants to deal with him. I'm sorry. It's not about the rap, the silver tongue rap or whatever he got going on. It's got to be something else. And, how do people talk and screen these people? Where's the family members that can be involved, if at all? This is crazy. But the only resolve here for this is, number one, if she knew that he had his firearm out, that he may have been drunk or under, allegedly, I'm saying, under any type of influence of intoxicants. Another thing, man, if he was all kinds of things, he shouldn't have handled a firearm. This lady shouldn't be around him, in that state. And I really want to know what the screening process is for a lot of these ladies to deal with men like this. It's not that I'm blaming the lady. Maybe he was able to hide this information from her. She could have been the last to know. But, thank goodness she wasn't hit anywhere else. And thank goodness she, the bullet didn't hit a vital artery or anything like that. and she's able to hopefully fully heal. But her defense in this case is to just, you know, the cop should have held on to them. There's no way a judge should have any kind of bail bond for him. He's a public threat. And to me, the reason why somebody like him would carry a gun is because possibly, again, he wants to upscale his crime, or he may need to defend himself against somebody's, you know, brother or husband that's going to say, yo, man, you know, you did this to my sister, my niece, my godmother. I'm coming to get you. Or just simply, you know, my daughter. Mm-hmm. That's the only reason I can think of him having a firearm. He's either going to commit another type of crime, as Mr. Suave pointed out. Hey, we're going to get down when I want to get down. Mm. I'm going to do it when I'm ready to do it. Or to defend himself potentially against people who might want to retaliate against him. You know, when these kind of guys do this kind of stuff, you got men and women out here walking around. They're not going to go for that. And I'm not trying to advocate for vigilantism, but I'm going to tell you, this person here is a considerable threat in my eyes. And then to blame it on another person, right? The person's character is completely deluded. We're dealing with somebody living on some fantasy island, man. And Mr. Rock and Tattoo is not there. And I'm with Ricardo Montalban, if you remember him, he played Khan in Star Trek, The Wrath of Khan, and also Space Feed from Star Trek, the original series. And of course, Mr. Herb Villachese, the other actor who is his co-host on the TV show. This man is living in a fantasy state. And always, when you blame any other group of people or any other human being other than yourself, that right there to me is a whole level of mental deprivation. You don't care about what happens to your fellow citizen. That speaks to your character, your heart, and your mindset, especially when you're going to make it race-based. So to me, this gentleman, he should be in jail eternally. The public doesn't need to see him. Women need to be protected. And we also have to get into some cases where how are these guys enabled? What is it that they're saying or doing that can entice these women to either disregard their family and deal with a quote-unquote bad boy? But this isn't a bad boy. This is a criminal who violates women, and he still has a healthy sexual outlet with women. This is something right here that just boggles the mind to me. Gentlemen?
Yeah, you hit that last note on point. You having a steady slew of females that's ready and willing for consensual sex, and you still have the need to go take it. Like I said, I didn't go look up his priors, but we know they're out there. It's facts. It's facts. It's on paper. It's facts. You know, yes. Girlfriends or just randoms that he was just stalking, like he's done. You know, so it's just, it's something. Yeah. You know, that the main thing about rape is that's a power. It's a power play to dominate somebody. I think that's what really gets his rocks off and makes him feel like he's enough. Maybe he feels man enough by doing this.
Yes. No, you do know. You're absolutely right. And the reason why, as I said before, as Beat Businesses pointed out, in 2009, he pled guilty to theft and burglary. So you can see he's one of those kind of guys that can carry his gun and talk that crap about, well, as I was robbing the house, I have a firearm to protect myself from the owner in case they want to descend upon me and put hands on me and throw me out that home, or even themselves may have a gun to repel me. And we're talking about charged with 2 counts of rape, 4 counts of domestic assault, and 1 count of sodomy in connection with a 2015 rape case. Dude, this man is screaming out of order. He's screaming criminal. He'll steal from you, rob you, and then go ahead and rape? Again, this is where a lot of women, you need to train in arts like Hapkido. You need to train in arts like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. You need to train in Taekwondo. You need to train in Krav Maga, Kochu, Ishin, Weiju, These are all Okinawan karate styles that are very powerful, strong, develop good striking techniques. Your Muay Thai, the elbowing, the kneeing, and the very powerful, damaging leg destruction kicks. Filipino martial arts. You need that. You need to understand those tapping drills, those anti-grabbing drills, the knife work that goes involved with it, working with sticks and improvised weaponry, and the Duma, Filipino grappling. There's so many wonderful martial arts out here. Good, strong Taekwondo kicking. I remember, I did bouncing. We had a gentleman who had an awesome Taekwondo kicks, man. He put it on these guys. These guys were laying right on out, and he laid them out like Alan Carpet, to quote Biggie Smalls from back in the day. He out. Yeah, provider that sold carpeting, and they were known for their carpets. But this man had an excellent array of kicks. And if you know what it is, what you're doing, and you explode one of those kicks on somebody, they're going to be on the floor shaking like being in a Baptist revival church. I'm telling you, you need to train. And women need to train. And when you're dealing with somebody who is a felon, that is screaming for you right then and there, whether you meet him at a cookout, church gathering, you have to feed these people with a long spoon, because he's not someone, people like this who are rapists, they can't be reformed. And we don't know what the age of his victims were too. But it doesn't matter. Once you're a rapist, man, to me, I wouldn't want you around any children. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't want you around any adult woman. There's problems there. There's problems with your mind there. Women and men need to train in martial arts, and it's not just advocating for it because we're martial artists, and not only because me as a legal firearm owner, I advocate learning firearms, anything you're supposed to know. If you can learn knife fighting, if you can learn kabuto weaponry, samurai sword, if you need to learn Korean kumdo, which is the art of drawing the sword, as well as learning aikido, which is samurai sword, drawing the sword. And I believe that comes as a program along with the aikido and some jiu-jitsu systems. You need to learn it. You need to learn it. You need to learn a weapons-based system so you know how to deal with edged weapons, and you definitely need pistol disarms. That's where tactical jiu-jitsu comes into play, along with aikido. I also believe Krav Maga has a very good program dealing with anti-firearms defense. But the woman in this case was turned away. She wasn't even looking at the man. And he's the kind of person who want to turn your back on him anyway. Let him be in the same home. So I really hope that more things come out. And I don't need to know the women's names, the ladies' names who he attacked, but I wish I could find out their ages. I just want to find out if he's molesting little girls as well. This person needs to go away forever. There's no question about it. An opportunity for a judge to keep him in jail is faulty. Why are these judges having this loyalty and rewarding criminal behavior? It just doesn't make sense to me. Gentlemen?
Yeah. I think you've summed it up. I don't know, Suave, you got any more?
Like I said earlier, man, I'm done with you, dude. I'm good.
All right. So I think we've done all we could do here, folks. Again, hindsight is always 20/20. These are our views, about this situation. Like Mr. Suave said, this is for entertainment purposes only. Get out your feelings and look at these different points of views that we're bringing. Keep an open mind. Get yourself prepared, self-defense, and just know that, savages come in all kinds, shapes, sizes, colors, whatever,
Even trolls.
Yeah. So, yes. And speaking of trolls, our email is thehindsight@gmail.com. That's THEHYNDESITE@gmail.com. The Twitter is @thehindsight. If you don't know how to spell it by now, I don't know what to tell you. I guess I'll just keep spelling it so that you get it. But yeah, send us an email about your comments, what you think, what you would like to see. And we'll see you next time, folks. Take care.
Peace.
Peace.
All right.